If you were watching this after the fact, this is going to be part two. So look up part one once they're both up and running and uploaded and everything. Something happened. My broadcast got cut before I was done. So this is going to be a shorter part two. We're almost done anyway. Let me make sure we're up and running before we do anything. Testing volume. Testing volume. Yep, that seems to be running. I don't know why we lost connection there for that amount of time. So again, this is part two of our chapter 5 finale. If you haven't seen part one, it's going to be a much longer video. This one we're almost done with the chapter 5 finale look through. There wasn't going to be much left to do. Um, I don't know. I think we left off with Cyclops. So our next skin on this series for season 3 is Colossus, also rifted over from the X-Men's universe. Colossus also shows up in Deadpool, and he is a character with metal skin. I don't know too much about Colossus, honestly. So this is our next important part. During the season, we had what was known as the Metallica season, which invaded the music version of Fortnite, the racing version of Fortnite, and the Battle Royale version of Fortnite. Now, if they really want to make their music thing hit hard, they do this for every single big name they have in music. They should have it part of all three versions. Because with Metallica, part of all three versions, and with them having their own event, it was cool. Now, if you don't know Metallica, this is James Hetfield, the singer. This is Kirk Hammett, the most excellent guitarist, though looking a lot younger than he does in real life nowadays. This is Lars Ulrich, um, their drummer. And this is Robert Trujillo, and he is their third main bassist. I don't know if he's third bassist in overall, but I can think of three main basses. The original, who died in the bus wreck. The last one left to try his own solo career, and I don't know how that went. And this is their current bassist. Um, but during their season, they also were on the map, and they seem to have powers, and that seems to be displayed in their extra Puppet Master versions. Like Kirk's the best. It just seems to change his face up a lot for some reason. Also during season 3, we had a connection to Fallout when the Power Armor came over. This was about the same time that the TV show was released as well, so I'm sure that's not a coincidence. Power Armor is a suit you can get in Fallout, but they're mostly known from being suits that the Brotherhood of Steel wear. Brotherhood of Steel is sort of a cultish military group that believes technology and the misuse of technology is what led to the end of the world, which isn't incorrect. But they believe that only the Brotherhood of Steel should have access to technology in an effort to control and protect the world, and no one else should have access to such technology. This is Zane. Oh, that's in for 3. Okay, so now we're into chapter 4 and the last chapter. This is Zane. He was the level character of this season. There isn't too much on him. Excuse me, sorry. This was the Marvel season, of course, which makes me think his kind of helmet and his Shinran armor kind of looks like Ultron stuff, but it doesn't really give us too much of a background on him. It just says Hunt by Starlight, and it's a cool looking outfit, honestly. This is Ultima Carver. He is the Pumpkin Knight that's come through. He seems to be somehow involved with the sentient pumpkins, and you see the same kind of 0 point looking blue glow to him. And he is currently in the brawler area awaiting challenges. He'll fight you. He's very aggressive. This is Sally from Nightmare Before Christmas. She is a sentient, reawoken corpse, like Frankenstein, like character, and the technical daughter and or make of the town's resident mad scientist, um, and love interest to Jack. This is the. Sorry, I have such a bad cough right now. God, I'm so gunky. This is the Pumpkin King. This is technically just an outfit Jack wore during the Halloween uh, celebration. This is Polis. He's a team member skin. And he is also a reference to Grecian mythology, so he's one of the last gods left on the island. And he's this season's team member skin. Phantom Guff is sort of a corruption of Guff. He seems to have this pinkish purple power on him, which would indicate a part of the darkness power, the cursed dark power, but he also looks like an ink character, and the ink is a different type of curse. So could it be that he has both curses on him, and that's why he's creating these pink bubbles? Unsure. But he has a fairly cool skin. They released another series of bird characters. I could not get them just because how weird they are. This is Polly Featherface. Other than being a summary look, he is, I believe, supposed to be a sort of play off Scarface. They also released The Incredibles, Mrs. Incredible and Mr. Incredible. Can I help you? I'm afraid. What is the plan? Please don't set things on fire. um, and Frozen is also released. Some people think that releasing Mrs. Incredible was a mistake. Wonder why. They also released Disney characters this season and 3 really good villains. Maleficent, one of my favorite villains from Disney, the evil dragon lady. In the original version of her, she can turn into a dragon. In the movie version of her, she's just in control of a dragon. Um, Leatherface was just released for the Halloween series. People have been dogging on his face. Looks more like burlap sack face, and I will agree it looks a little weird. But he is a horror icon, and he should just be a little more speared in blood and gunk, honestly, and have a more skin-looking face. Um, Leatherface, if you aren't a big, knowledgeable person on the series, is a part of this kind of inbred hillbilly family that are full of cannibals, and he is sort of uh, autistic, like really autistic, but he's been raised by these bad people, and because he's raised by these bad people, he is also a serial murderer and collects people's skin to turn into masks. We have the Nightmare, which is part of this season's Halloween. It is actually a play off the Dark Knight, which is a play off another night. It just seems like the Dark Knight's power has gone completely out of control, with it just oozing out of her and her clothes being all ripped and malformed. Yes, my child. Sure. Yeah, it'll be a moment, but yeah, I can do that. Gummy Team Leader is the second Gummy character, other than Gummy Fish Sticks. I don't know what to say other than it is a Gummy. And someone took a bite out of her ear and her shoulder. Ow. Do you think that will hurt a sentient Gummy? Ah, her leg too. Someone got a chunk of her thigh. We have Felina. Now, Felina, I don't know. Honestly, it says an assassin class Autono. Excuse me. Bought from Kodatech Secretive Re-Links Labs. So what that sounds like is they are creating robot Lynx. You remember Lynx from we just talked about her? Sounds like they're creating robot versions of her. Kodatech is the one that makes that other anime robot that shows up in a few other seasons and chapters. So it looks like they're now recreating Lynx in sort of robot form. Why they made her look so creepy, I don't know. But you can definitely see the Lynx like jacket and ears. This is Edward Scissorhands and Johnny Depp's second character in here. If you've never seen it, I really recommend doing so. It's one of the best kind of solemn gothic movies I've seen. This is character is a creation of sort of a genius scientist and semi-sentient. He's very sweet-souled, but before he could finish being put together all the way, his master died, so he ended up having like scissors and knives for hands, which is why he's called Edward Scissorhands. He ends up kind of becoming adopted by a regular human family, and he's not normal, so people mistreat him. But it's just really good, and he ends up being really good with hedges and becoming popular with that. But I believe he's run out of town for something, and it's been so long. I don't know. I need to watch that again. This is Dolly. I She's a team skin, I believe. Yeah, team member skin. Um, Other than that, fuzzy fandom meets fierce fashion. I don't know. Fuzzy fandom makes me think she's a furry, but she's also a fashionista. This is Cruella Deville, talking about fashionistas that were used fur. This lady is obsessed with fur. She's from Disney, and she's most famous for trying to murder a bunch of puppies to get their fur. That is the Disney movie. This is Corvus. This is probably the coolest of the bird skins and really good for this current season. It's a play off the Raven series from Chapter 1 and is also a Raven. And this is Captain Talon. It is an eagle and a pilot. America. This is Captain Hook. Most people know who this is, but if you don't, he's from Peter Pan. He lost his arm to an alligator or crocodile, one or the other, and is deathly afraid of them now. But he is also a pirate that lives in Neverland and wants to use his power and riches for his own schemes, and is Peter Pan's arch enemy. Back to Halloween. This is Billy. Now this one's a little weird. Billy is not in the original series of Saw is a small puppet, like a handheld puppet. Ventriloquist dummy. There you go. So he's not very large, and he is remote controlled rode around on a bike, and or shows up inside the I want to play a game uh, videos. But he isn't a person in an actual mask. This would indicate somebody with the mindset of I want to play a game has taken up the moniker of Billy and is wearing a suit to further Jigsaw's plans, but like the ones after Jigsaw's death, seems to have gotten the whole idea of Jigsaw just completely wrong. In this one, he is on the Fortnite Island, forcing Fortniters to fight each other for no good reason and no real lesson, and has released a wave of Puppet Billy explosives. This is War Machine. I currently have him look like that because of current uh, Halloween season. But this is War Machine. He is set up. He is Rhodes using a kind of buff, weapon-heavy version of Iron Man suit. This is Iron Patriot skin right here, but he also has regular gray War Machine. And yeah, not much there. He's come in for the Marvel, one of the Marvel heroes that they brought over and wasn't killed by Doom right out, and is here to fight against Doom. Shuri is the current Black Panther, and after passing away the actor who played the original Black Panther, and she's also come to the island. She's actually been involved with the island before when she wasn't Black Panther, but she's come to help fight Doctor Doom. And she's actually really smart. Like in the movie, she's a genius, and she's the one that figures out how to fix the Stark Tech towards the end and actually port Doctor Doom away to wherever the heck we send them when we port them away. He could be anywhere. This is She-Venom. I honestly don't know if she shows up in any other media other than the 2 seconds she is in the Venom movie. And I don't know if she's in the new Venom movie because if that's out, I never saw it. I need to watch that one. Other than that, it's a female Venom. This is Pilverine. Somewhere in some alternate reality, Pilly was Wolverine with Nanmantium, which is really hard to say for some reason. Some kind of banana-infused skeleton. And his claws look like banana chips. This is Mysterio, originally known as one of the most lame Spider-Man villains of all time. If you ever watched him in the cartoons or the comics or played him in the older video games, he has no superpowers. It's all illusion, and he almost never tricks anybody. In fact, in the games, he's just there so you can beat him up and make fun of him. That said, in the last movie, they made him a little more badass. He was able to trick people into thinking Spider-Man was a bad guy. And in here, he is using his illusion tech to help Doom. This is Mephisto. Nobody tell new rock stars this guy's here. He'll freak out. Mephisto is the well, he's the devil. He's Satan in the Marvel world. He's basically there to do what the devil does. He's actually here because in the comic book version, he granted Doom's mom some power, and it went poorly. And I don't remember exactly how that went poorly, but he may own her soul now. But he's currently in Fortnite, has taken over the underworld, and is granting us wishes at the cost of our health. This is a either Fortnite Zero Point Fusion or alternate reality of Meowscles and Sabretooth, and it looks pretty cool, like his claws. Sabretooth is a character from X-Men and Wolverine's archenemy. Iron Spider is from several versions of Marvel. I want to say the most famous possibly being from the Civil War comic books. This one lets you take off his mask, but I don't know what Peter that's supposed to be. Possibly comic book Peter. It's definitely not the movie Peter. But it's a pretty cool one. This, if you go to the Civil War era, this is the Peter that exposed himself, like his who he was, under the guise of this guy. This is Iron Man in his Mark 45 outfit. I don't know what his Mark 45 outfit is. I'm not that big of an Iron Man fan. It says Avengers benefactor and creator of Gamma powered battle bus, which indicates that this is the same Iron Man that was with us in the last Marvel series, because he was the one that made the battle bus that got rid of Galactus. You can drive to wherever. I said I heard you were going to drive to Walgreens. Only if you want to, like, get pulled over because you omitted it on live, and then we'll be like, where did the truck go? Where did my son go? What's going on? This is Gwenpool. Gwenpool has a weird storyline. So Gwenpool is originally supposed to be from our reality, or a version of our regular reality where there are no superheroes, and she's a comic book fan. She originally got her suit made up for a Comic Con. Now, because her name is Gwenpool or something like that, something to do with the fact that she named herself Gwenpool, the person who made her suit thought she wanted a Deadpool inspired suit, which is why she looks like Deadpool, but she's not related to Deadpool. And then sometime between that and where she is in the comics, she got pulled into like the comic world and became into a reality breaking character just like Deadpool, where she's knowledgeable that she's in a cartoon world and can sometimes just break reality, and go like through panels and stuff like that, just like Deadpool can. This is a mixture of the Durburger and Ghost Rider, and a pretty cool looking skin. He's charbroiled, like how his tongue flops, floppy tongue. Durburger is a skin from Chapter One, and the mascot of the Durburger food chain. Honestly, don't think there's a Durburger food chain or any kind of food chain on the island right now. There isn't, other than Doom's ice cream. That's it. And we're nearing the end, people. This is Emma Frost. She is a mutant, and she has diamondizing powers, sort of like the guy from season one of this chapter. Um, I don't honestly remember her being a villain, but I don't know a lot about her. And for some reason, she's working with Doom. Okay. I don't know. I would think that wouldn't. I don't think that would affect when you back it up. Okay. Well, we're almost done here, so a moment. This is Doom, Doctor Doom. He is a Latvian dictator. He has a quite a big story, which is important in Fortnite. The history of it. He was raised by a witch and a scientist. Both were kind of hazed, abused, and even eventually murdered for what they were. And that kind of created him to be the monster he was. He infused the suit he has with him with himself and burned the mask to his face, which is why he wears a mask at all times. Even if he is able to pull it off, which he does sometimes, his face is fairly messed up. This is the Pandora armor set. This is the set he made with Mephisto. This could control the Pandoric armor, Pandoric power, allowed him to become a giant, superpowered giant that it took hours to destroy. Um, you can see part of that in another video on here, but I didn't get to play to the end of it because I had to go to work. This is Captain Jones. Oh my goodness, hold on, I have that up for. Captain Jones is so Captain America gave him his shield and kind of termed him this island's captain. But interestingly enough, in the fight against Doom, Captain Jones gets knocked down, if not outright killed. It doesn't look like he's dead. But then Hope takes up the mantle of captain and leads the fight. I do believe this entire series chapter has been about Jones retiring, finally, after thousands of years. What he does when he retires, I'm not sure. But I think something might happen in Remix, which is OG Part 2, where we're going to Chapter 2, that we'll be saying goodbye to Jones. You have to remember, Chapter 2 is where we learn Jones is an agent. Chapter 2 is also where IO becomes really important. So he may get re-involved with IO at some point and may rejoin them or something. Who knows? And lastly, but not leastly, we have Agony. Agony is some kind of symbiote, and apparently something to do with this new movie because it was released on Fortnite on accident. That this is a new villain for Venom. Other than that, I have no idea. She looks like a purple Carnage or a purple Venom, She Venom, and she's got a lot of electricity or glowing veins for some reason. Other than that, we are almost done here. There's a little bit of storyline I'm supposed to talk about. And where did my notes go? When I lost YouTube, I lost my notes. Open. Okay, so we're gonna go back through some of the skins, just talk about things that may have happened in the storyline. Other than Hope leading, well, no, yeah, other than Hope leading the rebellion against her sister, she'd also take on Mount Olympus, where she would take over Mount Olympus, get in the way of Megalodon, and even lead the assault on Doom. She may have powers as Pandora's gems have an effect on her, and she's likely the Hope from the Grecian myth. Oscar also returned after his season, and he seems to intend to getting the society back together, but doesn't seem to have fixed that at all yet. Vengeance Jones, Agent Jones, pretty much nothing new on him other than what we already talked about. Nisha also returned and seems to want to mend her ways and fights with the underground in some parts. Montague we have not seen since his season. Peter Griffin, of course, hasn't come back. Valeria hasn't come back either. She just disappeared after the Pandora incident. Cerberus did come back and to hang out with his master's wife. Other than that, I don't know if he's still down there hanging out. I'd have to check. I don't think he is because I don't think you can summon him. I don't remember him walking around last time I was down there. Aphrodite has nothing we didn't already talk about. Poseidon, Medusa, Zeus, Artemis, Goddess of Hunt did stick around after the season. I could actually check to see if they're still here. Sorta. We were doing just for the end of chapter. This is actually the second half of this since I stream cut in the middle of it. You can watch the first half also on it, and we're almost done. Where is... Why do I always forget where things are when I'm trying to look it up? Collection. No. Collection. Oh my god, collection. So currently on map is... Oh, yep, she's still here. Where's she at? Is it Artemis? Oh yeah, she is. She's in this train station right here. That's right. So Artemis, the goddess of the hunt, is still on the map. She's been on the map since the Grecian. She's moved around a bit, and she seems to be hanging out in the underworld for who knows what reason. Possibly because it was... No, it's not even close to Doom. Possibly because it's on the other side of Doom. Who knows? Maybe she finds some good hunt over there. Nothing to Hades. I do believe Rust is still in the game. He is, and he's still over here. Oh no, actually he changed. He used to be hanging out here in the kind of the airport area, but now he's hanging out in this building right here. Peabody's still hanging out, I believe. He's still hanging out in his shop. Nothing came from these other guys. Bright Raider's still hanging out in her trailer. Miss Ramirez. Magneto's dead, likely. Megalodon didn't die during his explosion or anything. We can even have a picture of him like looking upset, which is the last thing we'll look at is our the pictures. But he's not on the island anywhere we can find him. And so here's the characters that are currently in here. We have Andy Fingerson. He is here for Halloween. He is actually part of the Lego series technically, but he's some kind of like he talks like he's a permanent werewolf where he doesn't change, and he's currently in the underworld over at Grimm's. Is that Grimsgate? Is that Grimsgate? That is Grimsgate. Okay, so he's currently at Grimsgate. That's why Grimm isn't there. We have him. We have Dark Ruby. Ruby, Dark Ruby. You know, I feel like I should know who Ruby is, but she has the darkness power in her. She's the newest Last Reality Cube member. I don't think I've seen this skin either. And she's currently hanging out in Rebel's Roost. Centurion's the guy who hangs out in the Northern Island ever since Megalodon showed up. He's just hiding up here because he doesn't want to deal with anything. Captain Jones is still on the map. He is hanging out near the Salt Flaps where they had a fight with Doctor Doom. Edward Scissorhand is at the Grand Glacier. He actually, if you go over here, you can see he's carved a bunch of the hedges into things that you can see in the movie. Windpool is currently near Center Island somewhere. There she is. She's hanging out in that garage right there, restroom area for unknown reasons. Hope has been down here pretty much since season 3 began. This is where her base operations is. Iron Man is hanging out near one of his the windmill, where one of his landing pads are. Mephisto, of course, is in the Underworld throne room. Nightmare, I'm not sure where they are. They're over in... They're hanging out behind the statue at Mount Olympus. Don't know why. There's someone I don't have. This is Nisha, and she is currently here, and she's hanging out in one of the train areas. Peabody we already saw. Ruckus, who is an older chapter, seems to be running the port. He's been running the port ever since the Wasteland came in. Rust we just saw. War Machine is currently in a train location near Doom's Courtyard, likely keeping an eye on the area. Triage Trooper, which is one of the 0-point copies of Jones, is hanging out down here. He was originally hanging out near the medical center right here-ish. Is that what this is? I think this is where the medical center is. For some reason, he's moved away, possibly because Doom's near there. And lastly, Shuri is right here. Now, we are missing 2 people, and they're both in the same place inside Restored Reels. Weird. But we don't have time for that right now. I'm going to go hang out with my son. So the very last thing I'm going to do, part of the locker, is lobby review from the beginning of Chapter 5. Just review, see if there's anything that shows anything that looks like storyline. What does OGN? So this is beginning in Chapter 5, Season 1. Here we see the train, which was a new feature, and we see Jones fighting Valeria on top of a train, alongside the shield and some kind of weapon. And Hope. Here we have the underground area, the place where they based at. You can't get there now, it's been buried after Olympus came in, but this is where the two of them set up. Can I go full screen and go left, right? No, I can't. Okay. Here you can see Hope looks fairly somber. Jones looks like he's fairly pissed off. Someone took his banana. He's not happy. This is Valeria. You see she's showing off whatever that ruby power she has. She is showing off it at full power there. She has some kind of energy power. We don't have any storied knowledge about the energy power, so your guess is as good as mine. Here we have Hope and Jones looking kind of dumb as they figure out how to put weapons together. Here is the end of that society. Why? Okay, I mean, I'm almost done. What are you doing? Did you unplug the battery? Oh, you need to make sure that the dome lights and things are turned off before you drain the battery. Okay. Just make sure that, because if you leave the door open, it'll drain the battery. Okay, so this is...
You want a center console?
Not really. Are you drilling on it? Is that what you're gonna do? Okay. Anyway, this is the end of the society chapter where Jones pretty much wrecked everybody to rescue Philly. Philly had everything okay back there? The vacuum figured up. This is the society season with all the characters in the new car. This is the turtles jumping down the battle bus. Nothing too important there. Oscar on top of the train. I don't think there's anything there that looks like any kind of reference or Easter eggs. Most of these, for a while, had just been artist renditions of stuff. Nisha, I will protect my family's legacy with everything I have. If you think you can invade a hunter like me, you're more than foolish. This is Montague, driving away in his car, chased by somebody in one of the bigger trucks. This is Nisha. So this one is storied. Peely apparently got loose and just started playing with the drinks she makes, and she looks fairly upset that Peely isn't taking this seriously. This is part of the music tour on the weekend. This is known as the Layer Showdown. Apparently, if this is story-wise, in the underground area where the turtles were, off to the side of the main underground area, the Shredder and Splinter had a showdown, apparently. And I actually haven't seen too much of this, so let me enhance it here for a minute on screen. Yep, it shows the turtles have gotten wrecked by Splinter, apparently. They look like they got beat up. Now it's up to Splinter. I haven't seen some of these full screen before. This one's showing Hope using the tool, the movement tool we had at the time, the grappling, whatever. She's just completely dodging all of the society's shots. Festival. This one's a story one. This one shows Jones invading one of the areas and then confronting Valeria. We don't know what the result of him confronting Valeria right there was, unless it was the burned up looking mansion and him actually taking Peely. Here's a chapter 1 skin. Drop the beat for the festival. Just some turtle skins. This is a scene where Oscar tells Jones that they have Peely, and Peely looks completely like whatever in the background. I believe this may be in the motel by the looks of it, but it may also be in his lair. This is Valeria studying. While the whole war was going on, she was studying Pandora. This is the unveiling of the society's um, symbol created by Montague. Lady Gaga. This is Snake coming in. Around, he seems to be in possibly in Lavish, so I'm not positive. And he seems to have landed first. Now, Snake, as far as we know, likely worked with the good guys and not the bad guys. This is Snake again, and this appears to have a story. He seems to be sneaking around. You can see he's entered the boat, Midas's boat, but as it's taken by the society, and seems to be hacking something after killing the three members. I love that there's three guns in the background showing that he killed three people instead of three bodies. That's actually fairly clever. So this is going into chapter 2. We have extremely pissed off Zeus. So what does it say for him? He who controls the battlefield controls history, of course. This is fairly pissed off Zeus. He's mad at the humans. I don't think there's really anything in there other than his place. Yeah, it's not showing anything. That's just characters. This is the Avatar series, original. It's called the Stygian Temptation, which may have something to do with the Stygian power look at the end of the last season. Or it could just indicate that this is what Valeria was hoping to get to. It shows Pandora's box resting, and our two heroes looking at it. Rise of the Pantheon shows just all the Grecian heroes, and for some reason Emperor Pili. Medusa. What does that say? The battle begins. Okay. This is Medusa. Not much there, just her robot snake. Korra, the Avatar. Hades riding his horse. You'll all face me soon enough, one way or another. This is Artemis on the hunt. She seems to be hunting this. Oh, this Oscar. So this is the first indication that Oscar is alive during chapter 2. Well, I don't know if this. We'll see later on that there's a scene where they're taking off, and Oscar seems to be hanging out with. I'm old enough. We'll just leave it at that. This seems to be indication that Oscar was working with the Olympians because he's either hanging out with Ares, but that looks like it may just be one of their lackeys. Aphrodite taking a freaking selfie, and what the heck is that? Was that a emote? Because that looks weird on my screen. Yep, that is emotes. Cool. That looks so weird on my screen over here. That just showed the actual emote names instead of the actual symbols. But I can see it on my other screen running phone. Zeus seems fairly pissed that she's just taking a photo. Poseidon looks happy about it, and Artemis could care less. Another one of Hades, nothing really Easter eggish there. This one shows Medusa taking on the stone versions of. You remember these guys are from chapter 1, and they're like stone creatures, and they've been around for a while, but I don't know why they're fighting on the side of Greece and against Medusa. Other than maybe Medusa turned them into stone, and they're just pissed at her. That could be a reason. Another Zeus. Oh, this one's important. This one's Zeus fighting the society. So this is what happened to the society. At the end of the society, after we beat them and Zeus came in, they actually took on Zeus, and it did not go well. We had assumed they died, but then later on, Oscar let us know that they all survived. Service with his hounds. Korra. It's called Balanced Korra. Korra seems to be fighting the good guys, which is questionable. So maybe she's fighting with Greece for some reason. Or they just see her as a threat, so she's a superpower, so I'm sure. And I say fighting, but if you look at Aphrodite, she's just taking a picture again. Someone take her phone away. Artemis during the war. This is likely just an assault on Greece on the Mount Olympus that we're seeing here. Aphrodite with her wings upside down. This is after the war when Hope takes Olympus and graffitis it up. It's still like that. Poseidon? And Poseidon seems to be fighting. That's right, we get Poseidon on our side by helping the Wobbly Lobs. And here he is taking out an Olympus card. Poseidon during summer. Hanging out with the other muscle-bound characters. And then we get into the Wasteland series, the first hat show. This is the Wasteland. This is just a character screen, but it also shows something. It shows the bomber, Peabody, and OG Jones. So that's a Jones 0-point copy, and Magneto fighting off Megalodon on a bus, as well as the Mechanist, which shows that Mechanist was Megalodon's ally. However, there's someone on Megalodon's bus, and I can't really see who that is. Rust doesn't seem to be showing a side in this area, though he is a good guy later on. And then there's the biker in the background. It doesn't really show his side either. Characters. This shows a Mechanist working on an engine. This is the Metallica season, but this is just showing some rock stuff on it. This appears to be a... This shows what appears to be Megalodon and... Oh god, I just said her name. Whatever her name is, the hyena lady chasing down Peabody. Maybe Peabody just like betrayed them to go run his gas station and was like, no, I don't want to be with you. Here is Rust riding below the carrier. For some reason, the carrier and the screen is a lot more damaged than it is. So this may be in the far future of this island. There's also a bus truck of some kind, which is not the battle bus, or it could be a concept for the battle bus driving around, or this may be some future vehicle. Nitrodome Advert, I guess. Here she is running the Nitrodome. You're ready to burn, then you're ready to win. Peabody, modding cars and working with some nitro. Bright Bomber and Hope. Ready, set, wrecked. Yep, it looks to be Bright Bomber and Hope running around. Not sure what they're doing. This is Megalodon. Along with the Mechanist, you can see the bike person with him, so likely they're teammates, but you also see Peabody, so this may be before Peabody leaves the team. But you also see the Wanderer. Now, the Wanderer looks unassuming, and you can see his face back there. Likely because the artist who made this wasn't allowed to know who the Wanderer was. Of course, we know the Wanderer later he ends up being Doom. Megalodon on his ship, and there is a fairly large crowd on the ship, meaning he probably had a lot of workers working for him. The Metallica stage, which is probably my favorite stage so far. And this is after the event. See, Megalodon is trying to blame Mechanist for the fact that everything blew and is in ruins. And then we have the pirate season, and it shows Peely Bone and someone else working with Davy Jones back there. Have you seen your little one? Is she down there? I can't see her from here. Is she in the donut? Don't lift her up. She can't be in the donut. Now you disturbed her donut. Threw her down. Just like what? I was sleeping. Okay. Don't let the little one out. Watch out, her spring's in the way. Nope, made it under the door. Okay. This is just Rust gliding in. There's some stuff going on in here. It shows characters getting wrecked by an explosion. That's the biker on the right. I don't know who that is in the background. This is the Mechanist and her pipes line. Nitro production. This shows our Bright Bomber, aka Ramirez, just taking the bus head on because she cray apparently. This is the stage for the battle stage. It appears to be in some kind of reality storm. You can see it appears to be the racetrack, or no, actually that's the stage below it. Don't know. This was part of the storyline. Jones and us helped Hope crack the Pandora gems, which gave Hope visions. Okay. You can also see Peabody hanging out with them along with the dummy, and Dummy's playing around with Peabody's head. It ended up, those jewels when collected, ended up reawakening the seer from the Grecian era, which then helped Hope get ready for Doom's battle. This is, are we still in season? Oh no, we're in chapter. Yeah, we're still in season 3. So this is Magneto breaking open the Weapon X area. This is the Metallica Island. Just a cool looking Metallica thing. This is a Brotherhood advert from Fallout. This is just a T power armor. Look of it. Are we in season 4 now? Yep, we're season 4. So this is a more recent one. This shows some of our peeps watching a horror movie. We can see Agent Jones on the right, Vengeance Jones on the right, actually. So that's likely a 0 copy of Jones, because Jones is now Captain Jones. We see the guy from the last season of Chapter 4, the thief. Let me get up close and see if I can recognize the rest of these. We see... Oh, that's Evie on the far right. Everybody looks completely horrified by whatever they're watching. I don't know who that is next to Evie. Maybe one of y'all can tell me. There's Bomber on the left. Not sure who's behind her. Not sure who's the left there. Oh, that could be that treasure hunter on the far left. I don't know his name. And we got the cursed-looking Meowskulls from a chapter ago. I want to say he's a chapter old now. And we have Peelybone, and we have the Cuddle Team Leader Halloween style. They all seem very unhappy by whatever they're watching. Like, they seem completely horrified by whatever they're watching. This is the current 4.5 season, Halloween. You can see the sentient pumpkin back there with the vines is the one I think is leading everything. That's why we have the knight guarding it and everybody else. And we do have a Marsh Mellow over here. That was like a zombie Mellow. I haven't seen him yet. He hasn't shown up at all. Maybe I missed him off. Sure, I was looking to get him. We just have a witch. I'm not a big fan of the witch skin, so I'm not actually going to get her. But I may get the Mellow skin. We have Killereets, very 80s looking. We have our Pilverine. He's over there just downing slap shots. Sure, it's good for his heart. We have War Machine. It looks like a comic book cover with Pilverine and Captain Jones. I thought that was Blood. I actually haven't seen this. We have the Rider, which is Ghost Rider. He seems to be using ketchup as a whip. I completely thought that was Blood. There's someone in its background. I'm not positive who that is in the background, but there's someone hiding in the background right there. We have a Mysterio one. It's just really weird looking illusion since he's a master of illusion. Captain Jones cover. Shuri cover. She's seems to be messing with the Rift Tech from Stark's version while fighting off the Doom Patrol. Doom Patrol, the wrong people. Doom's lackeys. Doom Patrol is actually a group from the Teen Titans era or something, I believe. We have, what was his name? Frick, Meowskull Sabretooth. Seems to be slashing beat anyone else. I am a diamond, my own best friend. We have Frost. Is she insane in the comics? I don't know. Again, I'm not a huge knowledgeable person about Frost. We have apparently poor Mysterio about to get wrecked by 4 of our heroes. Mysterio's like, no, don't stop picking on me. War Machine is Iron Patriot, taking on the Doom people. This is actually a preview of the Giant Doom fighting Hope with the Captain America shield. We have, this is the last time I let you pick a read up. We have Gwenpool and her Pigpool, or whatever the heck it's called, landing in the middle of battle. Gwenpool without her mask on. Super cute. Emma Frost in a really good looking drawing. Who did this? Art by Steve Epting. I don't know who Steve Epting, but this looks good. Also have Sherry back there, Hope, and some of the Doom skins. Doom powering up his magic. We have Jones getting his own shield. I thought you could use this, Steve Rogers, becoming the Captain America of the island. We have Shuri as Black Panther, wall running. We keep getting evidence that we might one day get to wall run. And we have the assembled group, which is a playoff Avengers assemble, even though only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of those are good guys and 3 are bad guys. And then just the overall absolute Doom fighting. Oh my goodness, I never noticed there was a dead llama underneath them. Poor llama. There's some stuff in the background. Do you think I can see those? I cannot see what any of that in the background is. Well, there's Ramirez in the far left. You can see that. So, yep, that is the end of today's stream. And again, if you somehow got to watch part 2 before part 1, part 1 should also be up on my YouTube. Once it's all uploaded and ready to running, I'll get everything nice and I'll get them saved to the correct areas in the playlist. I thank y'all for watching me. I had a bunch of y'all pop up during live. I also thank y'all for watching the ones I watch on YouTube later. I appreciate y'all as well. We will likely have at least one stream for the OG season just to intro it. I don't know if we'll have an in-stream for OG season. We might. I won't be here for the event, unfortunately. I will be working. Unless something happens, I won't be here. But I will try to get at least one 1 hour stream in just to see what's changed, what's going on, what the Chapter 2 Remix Island looks like, and get up and going on that. Other than that, Chapter 5 honestly was a really good season. It's going to be up there with one of my favorite seasons. It had a ton of really good skins, really good story. I'm not going to say it was my favorite island, even though the island had a bunch of really good changes. That's my ankle, you don't attack your toy and then attack my ankle. Go after your toy, go get it. Kittens. Anyway, Chapter 4's island, I think I liked it more a little aesthetically. This one had nothing wrong with it. It was just, at the beginning it was plain, but it improved as it changed. So nothing wrong with the island. I think I'll be more nostalgic about this island in the future than I will be of Chapter 4's island, because this had a good story to it. Like, I list my nostalgia to the islands with the stories. I nostalgic to the first island because first we stayed there for 10 seasons, and there was just storied things that happened all over the island. And same with Chapter 2 and 3. 4 had stories, but they were broken stories again, and never really, the stories never really drew you in. There was no real, like, big events that happened. A lot of the events happened off screen. Ow! Not a toy. Stop biting my ankle. And but in this season we got a lot of really good story, a lot of really good events. There'll be places that I remember. In the future I'll look back and be like, I wonder when we'll get an OG season 4 while we're playing on season chapter 20 of Fortnite. Do you think Fortnite will last that long? Who knows? It would be interesting. I'll keep playing until it dies. Anyway, thank y'all for showing up. We'll see y'all later. We'll likely have another Silent Hill stream sometime on my days off, late in the evening. Peace and out. And and if y'all are old enough and you'll have the chance, please go vote. We have a country that is on a very large cliff. The GOP are a completely current fascist organization. They're run by Nazis, Klans members, queerphobes, translators, and that is the only thing left of what used to be the GOP. Its lead representative is a likely inbred, brat, crook, rapist, uh, and just all around terrible person. And they want him up there because they know he's crazy. And if they can get up there, they can have their Christian fascism, they can have their racism, they can push the queerphobia, they can push the trans hate. So get out there and vote against that. You keep our country at least somewhat on the side of sane. It won't be the end. These crazy people will try to do something if they lose the election, just like they tried January 6th. Maybe it'll be larger. Maybe it'll be worse. Who knows? They're already trying to burn ballots, apparently, and ballot boxes, ballot drop-offs. But get out there and vote. Try to save our world from what is rightfully a side of evil. Some people say that's a little too strong, but it's not. When your side is made up primarily of hating other people, it's evil. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. And that is primarily what the right wing stands for, hating other people. I've seen these group of, now I'm going to say queers because I am bisexual, so I can say that. But I've seen these group of alleged queers that are voting right wing because they hate trans people. And it's really embarrassing to be part of Pride and realize that there are Pride members that are as terrible as the people used to be against us. We did all this fighting to get out of this stupidity and hate, and now that we have the right to marry and to exist, we are telling other people they don't have the right to exist, and using the same ignorance they used against us. And it's really just terribly embarrassing as a queer, and to see that happen against other people of our pride. So support what is right. Vote left in every way possible. Get rid of the only way we're going to be able to fix this country is to depower and remove the GOP in its entirety. There's not a good part of it left. It's been corrupted to death. GOP is only in its name now. It is a terrible fascist conservative party, and that's all that's left. And it's not even rich, corrupt, normal conservative party, which is, acceptable. This is just a cult of hate, and that's all that it will ever be in the future. So if we want to fix America, we need to overthrow the cult of hate, especially at the polls while we can do it peacefully. Show them that the Americans won't stand for cults of hate, and that we will have a future of acceptance, peace, and democracy. And that is my very rare political rant here at the end. It was my pleasure seeing y'all, and I hope y'all have a good rest of the week until I get to see y'all again, likely for a Silent Hill stream or for a remix stream. Peace and out, guys.